Today in the office, we have one of Lenovo's newest Chromebook Plus models, the Lenovo Chromebook Plus i15-inch. I'm just going to call it the Lenovo Chromebook Plus 15-inch. It kind of goes along with the Lenovo Chromebook Plus 14 that we've had before. And this one comes with a really interesting mix of like some high-end hardware with like a mid-range processor. And I've not had any time with this. They announced it at CES 2026, but we didn't actually get hands-on with it. So I'm super excited to see in this kind of price range, it's $600 normally, $500 on sale, what Lenovo is doing in the Chromebook Plus space. So let's get in it. But before we jump into the box, this video is brought to you by Built. Look, rent can easily be one of your biggest monthly expenses, right? And up until now, I'd wager that writing that check or hitting that pay now button felt like, I don't know, kind of tossing your money into a black hole. I mean, you pay on time every single month and you get like nothing to show for it. Until now. Built Rewards is a completely free loyalty program that lets you earn high value points on your regular rent payments. Whether your landlord is in Built's massive property network or you use their seamless bill pay feature, you get rewarded for just paying your rent. And these aren't just random useless points. The Point Guy and Bankrate have consistently ranked Built as the highest value point currency out there. You can transfer them one-to-one to 17 plus top tier airline partners and hotel networks to fund your next vacation, or use them for fitness classes, or literally put them right towards next month's rent. Honestly, you have to pay rent anyway, so you might as well get like a vacation out of it, right? There's zero cost to join, and all you have to do is hit the link in the description or scan the QR code right here on the screen and get signed up right now. You have nothing to lose and all sorts of points to gain. All right, so let's jump in this thing. Like I said, we're talking mid-range specs here. So it's the Intel Core 3 N355 processor. So not a slouch, but not like the highest powered thing in the world. Paired up with 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage. But it's got like, supposedly, stuff like a fingerprint scanner and a 120 hertz screen. And I think it gets to like 400 or 500 nits of brightness and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's an interesting mix here. And I'm very curious to know whether or not, once I get this thing out, if like the 2-in-1 and the Lenovo Chromebook 14, if Lenovo's just decided, hey, look, when we build a Chromebook, especially a Chromebook Plus, it's going to be rigid and well made. Ooh, that's more textury. You can probably see that. It's definitely plastic on the bottom. They're not trying to even act like that's aluminum. Very firm closed up for sure. Let's get this. Let's see what the charger situation looks like real quick. Yeah. Nothing special there. I do like Lenovo's blocks. I bypass this a lot of times, but like that's a better looking block than most, Again, it's not doing anything crazy different. Yeah, and they always put like a little splash of yellow inside that USB-C. I don't know if it's going to pick up on camera, but again, it's a charging block. Yeah, very rigid. I think somebody had this one before us, but yeah, lots of ports. We'll go over that in a second, but definitely. Yeah, plastic top and bottom. Yeah, this is all plastic, but incredibly like stable and firm feeling. It reminds me a lot of the Acer Chromebook 516, Chromebook Plus 516 GE, the gamer edition ones. So it's kind of boxy, It's not trying to like scoop any of the sides or anything. It's just like straight up MacBook type feel. Like let's just go front to back. It's the same width. And I think that provides a lot of rigidity, and so I like that. Again, definitely plastic. It looks like we got some downward firing speakers. The color on this is going to be real hard to grab stuff on. I'm going to try to make sure with Joe that we kind of sort of have some stuff, but it looks like we got bottom firing speakers only on this thing. Let's see. Yeah, no top firing ones, so that's interesting. Let me see if I can get light on these ports here. So Kensington lock, USB Type-C, USB Type-A, headphone microphone. Around the other side, we have a micro SD card slot, a USB Type-A, a full-size HDMI slot, another USB Type-C, and then what looks like a power button. This isn't a convertible, so that's interesting. You don't really see power buttons on the side of clamshell-only devices, but that's what we got here. And then again, that kind of scalloped bottom. This is definitely more plasticky than the other Lenovos that do the same thing, but it feels good in the hand. You're not going to drop this thing. I don't know the exact weight. We'll figure that out here in a second. But not overly heavy. I would say it's probably close to 3.5 to 4 pounds, something like that. So let's crack this thing open real quick. I'm gonna have to get logged in and do all that kind of stuff. But on the inside, we have a pretty nice large trackpad. It's obviously a physical trackpad, but as Lenovo's been doing here lately, really, really smooth. I would guess this is their Mylar that kind of mimics a glass trackpad. Click mechanism feels really good. Trackpad's seated very nicely. You have a fingerprint scanner, which is really cool. Not something you normally see on a mid-range Chromebook. From what I can tell, no backlight on the keys, but the keys feel pretty good. This doesn't feel like a super cheap, flimsy keyboard. The keyboard deck is relatively stable. Again, for an all-plastic build, I'm pretty surprised by how firm this thing feels overall. And you get a numeric keypad over here on the side, and it's not one of those like squished ones because they didn't put any upward firing speakers here. So I kind of wish they would have put some speakers up here. You got a lot of space here. You could have done that. We'll see what those sound like here in just a second. But no backlighting on the keys, but they do feel good, have that new Chromebook Plus layout. And then we have a 5 megapixel camera up top with a privacy shade. We'll check it out and see how it looks. Lenovo's been making great cameras in their devices here of late. And then kind of the star of the show here. Let's see, make sure this one, yep, this one is touchscreen. The one they sell at Best Buy is touchscreen as well. Anti-glare touchscreen. 1920 by 1200 resolution, so a little bit above 1080p, 16 by 10, 15.3 inches, so nice big large display here, but at 120 hertz and 400 nits of brightness. So like, well done here, Lenovo. Like this screen is going to look great. We obviously have it turned way down for the camera here, but I cranked it up underneath this light, which is always really harsh, and it looks nice and bright. The viewing angles are great. It's an IPS display. So again, like a high-end kind of display here, a 5 megapixel camera, a fingerprint scanner, a really nice keyboard and trackpad, a rigid build. You know, it looks really nice on the table. So a lot of higher-end things built in with this kind of mid-range processor. And again, that is the Core 3, Intel Core 3 N355, 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage. But as we saw, micro SD card on the side slot there, so you can expand that storage pretty easily. But let me get all this stuff set up. It'll give me a chance to type on the keyboard a little bit more, and we'll cut right back. All right, so got the main stuff set up. I have to retract something I said early. I said the keyboard felt great. It feels okay. It's a little mushy. It does sound clicky, but like the feeling under my fingertips isn't, I don't know, there's just not the response I'm looking for. I could see making some mistakes on this. Again, it's not like it's a bad keyboard. It's just kind of mediocre. The trackpad, on the other hand, feels great. The click mechanism is really, really awesome. But the absolute star of the show here is the screen. So this 1080p plus screen even has the slightly rounded corners, which a lot of newer higher end Chromebooks are doing. I really love that, but the brightness is fantastic. Hits 120 hertz when it's plugged in, and when it's not plugged in, it drops to 60, obviously to save some battery there. But the 120 hertz, the 400 nits, the anti-glare, touchscreen, all that stuff, that would really be the selling point of this device in my mind. And jumping around some basic stuff, you know, this N355 processor isn't going to blow anyone's mind, but just like it was with the Lenovo Chromebook Plus 2-in-1, it's a perfectly capable processor. Paired up with 8 gigs of RAM, it's going to get you through most of the stuff that you would want to do on a Chromebook. But a couple of the other things that I was kind of just guessing at, basically, is the camera. So let's open that up real quick. Yeah, so I'm gonna double check. Stuff says 5 megapixel camera. Yep, 5 megapixels. Yeah, colors look really good. Contrast is really good. So again, we're gonna point it. Oh wow, it adjusted really quick. It is dark over there. Now you can kind of see my hand is like absolute ghost here. That's not fair. But you can see Joe over there. You can see the brick on the wall, that kind of stuff. That looks really good. And man, just as soon as I turn it back to me, just adjusted back, skin tones look really good. So A+ on the camera here. So you don't have to worry about in your meetings and all that kind of stuff looking good. You're gonna look good on camera. Here's the other thing I have not tested yet. So you're gonna see my actual response right away. I'm not expecting much from these speakers. Now, it's a big chassis. There should be some room for speakers, but the fact that they're just on the bottom here, again, it's probably impossible to see this on camera, but literally like little bitty spots right here on the front. Unless they're coming up through the keyboard or something, I don't know how these could possibly sound good, but we're actually going to pull up one of our videos and find out. So let's go to, we'll go to the Google Book video. Widgets, the way you'd expect from a desktop OS. It's a smaller edition that Google didn't even really point out in the presentation, but it's yet another thing we've wanted on Chrome OS. So let's dive in. I've been hoping. Yeah, those sound about like you expect them to when the speaker holes are on the bottom and pointed down directly at the desk. So yeah, don't expect a whole lot from a speaker standpoint. They'll get you through a phone call or something like that, but you're probably going to want to put in some headphones there. So I don't know. To me, that just it adds to the oddity that is this particular Chromebook. So at $600, you're getting a lot of good stuff. Again, I've talked about the screen quite a bit. Like, that screen is excellent. I really like that. That's a great camera. It's a fine keyboard. It is definitely not backlit. I'm going to check one more time. Yeah, it is not backlit. You get a numeric keypad, you get a fingerprint scanner, you get a really nice trackpad, you get a really firm build quality, you get tons of ports, you get a fast enough processor inside. Is that worth $600? Maybe. Right now it's on sale for $500. I feel like that's a more fair price. I feel like somewhere more like in the $450 range would make this a much easier to recommend device. If you're looking for something with a bigger screen, and that's like the most important thing to you, is a high refresh, high brightness, just really crisp, excellent looking screen. If that's like the most important thing to you, I could see this being something that would easily appeal to you at this price point. But I have to say, at this kind of price point, so let's say no sale, at $600, you got to think about this in a couple different ways. One, we don't know if this thing will get the Google Book OS, whatever that's going to be called, that upgrade. We don't have that list right now, and the N355 processor does not have an NPU. So there's a good chance that this just doesn't make the cut because it doesn't have hardware to support AI. And AI is clearly what Google Book and the OS that will run on those devices is going to be all about. So I don't know how that will get handled. So let's assume that you're not going to get the new Google Book OS option on a device like this. Is it still worth getting? Because everybody's kind of looking at this going, I want the new thing, I want the best thing. Google is still supporting Chromebooks. This Chromebook will be supported for 8 to 10 years, somewhere in there. The boards kind of get mixed up, but definitely 8 to 10 years. This thing will still be getting regular software and security updates. And so if you're buying it as a Chromebook, if you're making a purchase and saying, hey, I want a Chromebook, I want a web-first device that's lightweight, that gets constant updates and does all the great stuff that Chromebooks do, this is going to be a decent option. And I do think we'll see some sales on this to probably get it in that $450, maybe even $400 range. I could 100% see that happening. But buy it for it being a Chromebook. That's what I would say. This is a device that is going to be great for 6, 8, 10 years down the road because it's got all the pieces here that should make it a good Chromebook for that time. If you're buying it hoping for an upgrade to something like what the Google Book is going to offer, I don't know that this is going to be a good purchase decision for you. But know that going in, look for some deals on this thing. And again, well, I'm going to spend some time with this. We'll do a review and kind of see what this thing feels like using it long term. But again, at $600, I can already tell you there are other devices I would recommend. But on sale, $150, $200 off, it gets pretty interesting because again, most of the time you spend with a Chromebook is staring at the screen. And this one, from at least the early onset, feels like it does that really, really well. But guys, that's it for this one. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up, head down there, hit that subscribe button, and be sure to ring the notification icon as well if you'd like to be alerted when we make future videos just like this one. Until next time, we'll see you.